The third round, I shot 13 under par. It was bogey free. And going into the third round, I was back 4 strokes of Simon Lizotte and James Conrad. And right there, I was just thinking, 4 strokes, that's a pretty healthy gap right there. And I just put my head down. I got on some good rolls of birdies. And then I didn't check the scores until hole 17. And looking back, that's probably my downfall. I saw the scores, and on hole 17, I was leading by 2 strokes. And 2 holes later, I was tied with none other than Drew Gibson, who was on the card with me. He was at 15 under starting day, so he had me by one, shot 12 under. And then afterwards, we were tied for the first place. Looking at scores coming down the stretch, Simon was in a really good position to potentially come back, tie us, or even win the tournament outright. And I think he had some troubles. He needed a birdie hole 18 in order to get in the playoff. I think he missed some shots there. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but ultimately he parred the hole, and me and Drew went into a sudden death playoff. And I threw a roller too high, hit a tree, and then of course it went out of bounds. But Drew did the smart thing. He asked Josh Anthon what he should do, and Josh said throw it right up the fairway, put it under the basket, and Drew Gibson is your Portland Open champion. I bet you a lot of people can go look on how I reacted after I missed that putt. And of course, I'm not going to lie, my blood was absolutely boiling. I had such a hard time containing myself. You saw me elbowing my disc in the ground. I was doing cartwheels or whatever. But afterwards, I know what I needed to do. I needed to storm off to the course, and I called my mental coach, Arthur Codington, and he kind of took me through some exercises to kind of cool myself down, realize that this isn't everything. You've proved yourself, and I think just knowing that I've had great victories really helped me kind of push through it. I mean, right now, of course, I'm not happy. I'm still thinking of that last putt, of course. But I definitely see the light at the end of the tunnel, because I know, like, the one thing that's really making me feel good is I played in the rain in round one. I was at 2 under when everyone else got a huge jump start on me. So I made up the most ground in the course of the tournament, and I feel like I can be proud of that. And it's a learning experience going into the future. I know not to look at scores if I'm on chase card. Of course, like when you're on lead card, they have scoreboards everywhere, and you're going to know what's going on. But chase card, there wasn't a guy showing what scores were or anything. All I needed to do in that situation was put my head down and continue to play the game that I was playing. And if I were to do that, the outcome could have been different. But I just want to congratulate Drew Gibson for taking advantage of the opportunity. He did everything you were supposed to. He broke through, and I just want to say, good job, bud. I wasn't really mentally prepared for a playoff. I thought Simon was going to shoot 28 under, and that's was going to be this thing that I kind of got stressed out about, thinking that I could have went into a playoffs with Simon. But like, I was never mentally prepared for a playoff. I was still too rattled from that putt. Just knowing that I could have made it final right there, or had the chance to maybe tie Simon, hoping that he would have birdied out. There was too much going on in my head, and I think in the playoff it kind of showed. And that's something that I can definitely, I'm hopefully going to look back on, and it's not going to happen again. You could say I felt pressure from a whole bunch of different things, but a certain degree of it, just thinking that you could be like king of Portland, kind of sounded really appealing for me. But I can still do that next week or the week after if I prove myself at BSF. But yes, of course there was added pressure there. But overall, I mean, it's just being in that moment, just wanting to take advantage of the situation. I mean, it would stink if you were doing this at a C tier. You'd be thinking about it just like you are now. So of course a disc golf pro tour is gonna kind of sting, but I still got a lot of things going for me, which I want to say that it definitely does bother me, but not as much as you might think. just trust the process. Lately, I've been maybe slacking on a few things that I shouldn't be slacking on. Fix those things, go into BSF with confidence, play each hole at a time, and don't think about this event. Learn from this event, but learn from this event this coming week, and just use it as confidence moving forward.